Yo, what is going on, guys? Today I wanted to make a video about a subject that I've held off on making it for a while, but I figured I would tell you guys about it. So, as you guys know, a couple months ago or a couple weeks, I don't even know how long it's been, I made a video titled The Death of Two Friends. Now, that was my buddy Dakota and my buddy Nathaniel, and they both were killed in car wrecks, two totally different car wrecks, and I just talked about it and talked about them and told a little bit about them, but they weren't that close of friends to me. Now, don't get me wrong, I was really close with Nathaniel, but we weren't in the same grade. We just saw each other every once in a while, and Dakota also wasn't in the same grade as me, so we didn't know each other that well. But here, just this past month, I lost a really close friend, and I wanted to tell you guys a little bit about him. Unfortunately, my buddy Tyler, he got killed in a four-person car wreck that happened on February the 24th. It was right in front of my cousin's house. He told me about it basically as soon as it happened, and it was unfortunately nobody lived in the car wreck. He was driving, and it was just four young people taken from us. One was 23, one was 22, he was 20, and I think the other was like 19, 18 or 19. It was two girls and two guys, and they all, it was a one-man wreck. He just hit a tree and they died, and Tyler was really, really a good friend of mine. We were in school together. He moved here in fifth grade from Indiana, and we were in class up until graduation. Every class we had together, we were all close friends. Me, him, and about six other friends. We were just all really close with each other, always together during class and away from class, and had vocational together, worked on cars together, hung out. I mean, we were just always together. And Tyler had never been to a birthday party with other kids or any kind of like get together with any other kids besides family when he moved here, and he actually came to my birthday party the first time that he ever like stayed away from his house overnight. And his parents came and met my parents and were, making sure we were cool, and he stayed with me and about seven or eight other friends, and we had a great time. I mean, we went camping up here in the woods, and he had never done anything like that before, coming from up north, and we had such a good time. And some of my best memories of being with him was, just growing up and hanging out together like that and being in class all the time. When we started driving, he was so excited to show me his truck, and like we drove to vocational in it so that we could work on it. And it's just so sad to see, a young person taken like that, especially someone so close to you. I mean, I did take it pretty bad when, Dakota and Nathaniel died, but I mean, having a friend that close that you grew up with and, hung out with and just grown together with and had a classmate like that, it's just crazy to, lose someone like that. And I just wanted to tell you guys a little bit about him. I always say that Jeff does his video about his friend Jordan Allen. I'm going to have 3 videos now to post each year, one about Dakota, one about Nathaniel, and now one about Tyler. I just hope that there's not another person to add to the friends list that's going to be in the next video. Now, I know it might not be the most appropriate thing to say, but when we were in the funeral procession to, go to the gravesite, or to go to the church and then go to the gravesite, we were, it was me and all his friends, and his truck that he originally got, his dad, they stopped traffic in the middle of town. And one thing about Tyler, he loved vehicles. He went to college after we graduated. He went to auto mechanic school and became a mechanic, and he was living the dream. He loved that, and he really loved living life fast, and he'd always, be burning rubber on his tires. And they stopped traffic in the middle of town, and his dad was in his truck, and he just absolutely burned the tires off in the middle of town behind the cops. And then they went on in the funeral line, and then all of the friends all slid out into the highway and spun the tires up the mountain to go across the mountain to where his house is. And I said that, like, if he could have been there, he would have loved to have seen what we did that day. They got his casket out of the vehicle, out of the, the hearse, out of the back of it, and they put it in the back of his truck. And his dad just spun the tires all the way down the road where he lived. And I mean, he melted those tires off of the truck, and I mean, I have a video of it, but I'm not gonna put it in this just out of respect for the family and stuff. His sister did post it on Facebook, but it's just not my place to be posting that. Especially on a place like YouTube, and it could get a lot of views or whatever. But if he could have been there that day, I know he would have been smiling. Seeing all of us the way that we done that, and that's what made me the happiest. I couldn't even hardly cry that day because I was just so happy at how they did everything. And then when they carried the casket out of the church, they put it back in the bed of his truck and drove it over to the gravesite. And that just made, that made my day. And that's just something that, you can't put a price on. That was just a really good, that was the best way that they could do things. Some people said it wasn't appropriate, but that's what he would have wanted. He would have been so happy to have seen that. He would have loved that. Me and Tyler were, like I said, just really, really good friends. He's way up there on the closest of friends that I had. And when we were in seniors in high school, I was really into collecting knives, and I would bring them to school and show them to him. Our school is very lenient towards knives. That's not a big deal at our school. And we would look at them in class, and he even messaged me. I was looking at our Facebook messages, and he had messaged me and said, "Can you trade a knife for me to get me a better knife?" Because I used to be into trading knives and getting a better knife and working my way up in the profit. And he'd always just have a big smile on during class and be like, "What knife do you have to show me today?" Or what knife are you carrying, or something like that. And that's just the memories that I'll look back on for forever. But yeah, this one goes out to my buddy Tyler, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.